The American empire is on full display. Mask totally off. And who do you think we should turn to for wisdom on how to resist? Because there's a community in this nation that has been targeted by this empire from the beginning, and that has resisted this empire from the beginning. And that's the Black community, and particularly Black Christians. And there's a reason why they're resting right now, and they're pulled back right now, because I believe the Lord is strengthening them to lead in this upcoming season. Because nobody knows the empire like targets of the empire. And nobody sings, "We shall overcome," like those who have come out of the furnace of affliction.
White Americans, here's another one where I am very interested to hear what you all have to say. So, shall we keep it going? Do you all believe that racism against Black Americans is still a major problem in the United States today? I just want to know.
So it's clear that we are watching the fall of the American empire in real time. And there is a stark difference in the way that the white community is responding and how the Black community is responding. The Black community en masse has completely withdrawn. They fought, they campaigned, they warned us, and we chose the orange man anyway, and they're out. The white community, on the other hand, is fighting, those of us who aren't under Trump's spell. And there is this real sentiment that if we can just get Trump out of the way, then we can all get back to normal. But the thing is, that's not what God is doing. And I'm not a nihilist, but we're missing the point. The point is this white supremacist system has wreaked enough havoc. Enough. And God is judging it. And the fact that we are clinging so hard to it makes me wonder, what does the Black community see that we don't, that's allowing them to totally let go right now?
Hi guys, my name is Kelvin and you're welcome back to the channel. Look, I'm not here to beg. I'm not here to explain one more time. I'm not here to hold anybody's hand while the house they built finally starts to burn. For 400 years, this system has had its boot on our necks. Slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, mass incarceration, stolen labor, stolen land, stolen lives. And every single time we rose up, every single time we organized, every single time we tried to make this country live up to the words it wrote on paper, it was never enough. We told y'all. We warned y'all about the orange man. We campaigned. We knocked doors. We voted like our lives depended on it because they did. And too many of y'all looked us dead in the face and said we were overreacting, said we were the problem, said not all white people, said get over it. Now the mask is all the way off. The American empire is standing there naked, and some of y'all are still fighting like your life depends on going back to normal. That normal was our nightmare. So while some of you scramble and panic and suddenly want us in the streets again, we are sitting down. We are resting. We are stacking. We are protecting our peace, and we are watching. Because God is not mocked, and this system has wreaked enough havoc. That's what this is about.
Dear white people, what have we done to you? Don't give me no BS story talking about y'all didn't do nothing. I'm not that type of person, because the last time I checked, you sat there and built an entire country off of our backs. A country that was ours before it was ever yours. You sat over here and came and stole our land. You talking about the ancestors of mine that sat there and went through the slavery times. The ones that you would use as a house slave. Sit there and have them nourish and sucking from my bosom. At the same token, I was beat. I was spit on. I was degraded. I was deemed as unhumane for the things that you sent me through just because I wanted to learn the American literacy. The dream that we all sit here fighting for in 2026 for every child to have equal rights inside of a school system. You talking about the ones where I pay tuition for my child to go to school at, and I'm still deemed as not enough. You talking about the ones where certain curriculums you leave out on my child. No learning how to balance a checkbook. No learning how to be an entrepreneur. No learning how to build your American dream up or whatever it is. Instead, you turned us into a corporate businessman. I sit here and work my ass off to the bone to get a college degree, and it still ain't enough, and I'm still deemed as overqualified on a job application. Dear white people, what have we done to you? Don't give me no BS story talking about y'all ain't did nothing. You sat there and went inside of a house and killed my African-American auntie, my sister, my mother, over boiling hot water. And in the meantime, you sitting there walking close to her and she sits there and say, the blood of Jesus. Apparently, the same man that you sitting here claiming you worship, you adore, you identify, you love so much. You talking about the one whose hair is like wool, eyes like fire. It still wasn't enough. So, dear white people, what have we done to you? You talking about the one with Carmelo Anthony? He sat there and defended himself against Caucasian bullies who wasn't even supposed to be at a track meet. You sat there and tampered with me. You tarried with me. But because also you sat there and painted him as a murderer inside of news media, you forgot the fact that he also sat there and saved a Caucasian baby from drowning. Dear white people, what have we done to you? You talking about Nolan, who went out on a lake with Caucasian friends and never came home. But a phone came home. No explanation. You want to give this sad, sob-ass story as a judge. Dear white people, what have we done to you? Trayvon Martin walking with a pack of Skittles and an Arizona tea. Deemed as a threat with a hood on. Dear white people, what have we done to you? We're fighting. We're not against you. But for some reason, it still ain't enough. My mom taught me that type of tactic, but you still sitting there with your asinine ass, ain't got the audacity to sit there and do your research and see we was never the problem, but now you sitting here stealing my culture, calling it your culture. You never knew anything about a corn roll until we sat there and was finding out where to...
So I just seen the video, right? So white guy, seemingly intelligent white guy, was talking about the response between different racial groups, specifically the white community and the black community. He is putting emphasis on how historically in times like this, how we have always reacted differently from the white community. He is noting, which he is right, that we as a people are very indifferent about the things that are going on right now. We have been fighting and we have been advocating against this machine for years, decades. I mean, before my existence. And now we're at a point to where things seemingly looks irreversible. Or we have washed our hands with this. And there are whites that are fighting, righteously so. There are whites that are fighting for the core values and principles that this nation was supposedly founded on. There are people that still believe in America and the foundations of that. Us as a whole, we have never really seen many benefits from that. So that's why we are indifferent. Spiritually, it's obvious that black folk are very spiritual folk as well, which is why we also move differently collectively as well. We know that the foundings of this nation, it was founded by an entity. And we're not talking about physically, we're talking about spiritually. There was a certain mindset that was being utilized when this foundation was created. That entity spiritually still exists. I need y'all to understand. An entity that we have had to fight perpetually, at least over the last 400 years. So we see it differently because of that. We know spiritually what we're up against. We know what that means for our existence. We know what y'all are finding out and experiencing for the first time. I know it's a shock to y'all. We have learned to not only survive, but thrive in this type of climate.
Can we talk to the 92% and the 92% only? I hope and pray that you are still standing down. I know every day is a breaking news story, a breaking news situation, all the things. But please understand, while we can have compassion for people that are effing around and finding out, we can also hold them accountable and have those uncomfortable conversations. Because what I have learned in my rest era so far is when people are finding out after they done effed around, they still don't hold themselves accountable for seeing themselves for who they are when they went into the voting booth, okay? All was fair in love and war when the harm and hurt was going to another group. But since the harm and hurt is coming to you, all of a sudden you want empathy, you want sympathy, you want people to feel sorry for you and rally behind you and build community. I think that is harmful and that is hurtful, and we won't ever get anywhere with that. Like, there has to be accountability, or the conversation is a non-starter, right? So while you are in your rest era, while you are seeing these videos of these people on here talking about they're finding out after they didn't effed around, like, just remember, unless there is some accountability held across the board where they can say, you know what, I let my prejudice, I let my racism, I let my misogyny, like, get in the way and cloud my judgment over a Black woman that was highly qualified for the job and that had a plan and not concepts of one, and voted the other way, the conversation is dead in the water. And as we see this administration continue to do what it's doing, it is reinforcing what the 92% and the 80% also knew. You know what I'm saying? So until we're ready to have those conversations, let these people keep finding out. Like, God bless. Okay, bye.
White people are trying to figure out how and why Black people have collectively withdrawn from this country, essentially.
So it's clear that we are watching the fall of the American empire in real time. And there is a stark difference in the way that the white community is responding and how the Black community is responding. The Black community en masse has completely withdrawn.
And it's clear to me that a lot of y'all have never been in a toxic relationship. And unfortunately, I have. But let me tell you how this goes. In a toxic relationship, you usually have one person who isn't shit, right? It's usually the man. And the man is, emotionally abusive. He is a cheater. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. He gaslights. He's narcissistic. But he also has a lot of potential, right? He also can be very loving. He also promises things to come in the future, right? He also can be very exciting at times. And those things keep the woman around. But when things are bad, shit goes up, right? Windows get broken, cars get scratched up, TVs get shattered, broken glass everywhere. Just a lot of chaos in these situations at times, right? And this goes on. These ebbs and flows, these ups and downs go on for years sometimes. But at some point, the abused party in his relationship just completely wakes up and decides that he or she is over it, right? And when that happens, there is no blow up. There is no broken windows. There is no shattered windshields. There is no scratched up cars. There's just calm, right? There's folded clothes. There's neatly packed possessions. That person decides to go on about their business. And that's where Black people are with this country at this point, right? Like, we're just sick of y'all shit. And we're not going to protest. We're not rioting. We're not doing none of that shit. You know what I mean? Most of us are just simply withdrawing, going on about our business and surviving like we know how to, like we have always done since this country, since before this country was founded.
And we talk, let me tell you something. As a journalist that is no longer in a traditional newsroom at the moment, when I tell you Black Americans, the descendants of the enslaved, push the culture, that is what I'm talking about. That entity that currently occupies the White House, when I tell you that he is not happy with the fact that we have sat this one out, when I tell you that other subgroups are not happy that we have sat out and are scratching their head and wondering why we ain't nowhere to be found, despite being the highest unemployment rate group, despite quite literally being hunted in this country. Despite it all, somehow we are still finding a way. Somehow we are still finding our joy. We are still making a way. We are still in community with one another and building. I refuse moving forward, going forward, arguing with anybody about the Black American experience. I am no longer arguing with nobody. Nuh-uh. You are not cut from the same cloth, and you cannot compete where you cannot compare. I will not be explaining that any further. The mere fact that we collectively in November of 2024, altogether the majority of us, 98%, dare I say, decided that we are not going to do this. We're going to sit this one out. Y'all got it. And we are in lockstep. I hope you understand our power at this point. I hope you understand just how powerful we are when we are in lockstep with each other. Our ancestors are proud. They are very proud, but there's still work to do. While everybody is trying to spin the narrative and trying to get us up out of our rest, we got to remember not to let them. Mind your business, make your money, save your money, build your community, and go on about your business. Because as you can see, when you think the harm is going to come to somebody else, you find it on your doorstep. And maybe now, because we're going to continue to rest, we cannot let up. We cannot let up by any means. Maybe, just maybe, other groups will fall in line and figure it out and understand that we are better together than apart, okay? But it starts with us, because clearly they wanted us in the streets. Clearly they wanted us up in arms because Kamala D. Harris, Madam Vice President, Attorney General Harris was not elected. The mere fact that we are still showing up and showing out, that got people mad, got people rocked, got people wondering what in the heck. It's gonna get worse. But as I've said several times, you cannot think my house is going to be on fire and yours isn't going to catch on fire, because we are too mixed up now. Our kids are too mixed up. We are too mixed up in our workplace, in our workspaces, in our neighborhoods. So the quicker people get on some get right and start putting into some action, because that's what it's going to take at this point. It's going to take action. And the action cannot come from us first. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But yeah, no. Black Americans, the descendants of the enslaved, please continue to rest and just find your joy where you can. Okay, bye.
White people are being welcomed to America now. And what I mean by that is white people are being welcomed to the America that many of us have been experiencing for a while now. And that's not even to shame y'all, because at this point I don't even think that that's helpful. It's more just to give you context to the situation that y'all are in. And I say y'all very specifically because this is a white America homegrown problem. This is like Jim Crow, this is slave patrol, this is a white American issue specifically that we are in right now. And so what is happening is y'all are being asked to stand with yours. That's what this is, right? So white people are being gunned down in the street the same way that they've been gunning down black people for ages. And it is because they are not following the rule book. You're not following the script. Because what's supposed to happen is they're asking you to align with your whiteness. And I'm going to put the definition of whiteness up again, because there are specific definitions of what I'm talking about. White people are being asked to align with their whiteness. And what is not going to go along with that, with this badge that is giving you privilege to walk through the world with immunity, at least in regards to your race. I'm not saying that you didn't experience hardship, but you didn't experience it because you were white. They're asking you to align with your whiteness right now. And I think a lot of you are coming to terms with what that means, because whiteness also doesn't necessarily ask you to identify with it in the same way that like black people identify with being black, for example. And you are coming to terms with what that means, of what it means to be white in America, because they're asking you to be that right now. Race is a construct. Let's be very clear. Whiteness is a construct. And they are now calling in the favor. They're asking you to cash in with all of the privileges that you've enjoyed by being white and the things that you have avoided because you are white. You are now being called to cash that in. And what they want in payment is for you to co-sign all of this. Fuck, they want you to join them. They want you to be outside. They want you to arm up. They want you to help get these people that are not like you out of your country. Your country. That's what the rhetoric is. And a lot of you don't want to, which is good. I love that. I am happy to see that there are white people who are like, wait, but I don't want to participate in this, which also means that you don't want to participate in whiteness. In fact, it sounds like that a good number of you would like to dismantle it altogether. You don't want to be capital W white if this is the cost. Now, I don't have the answer for the question that I'm about to ask next, but I do want you to think about it. What does that mean to you to no longer be capital W white? To no longer experience capital W whiteness? Who are you outside of your race? Who are you outside of these experiences? And to answer that question, you are going to have to go through your life and comb through and decipher just how many things happened or did not happen to you solely because of the color of your skin. I think that's a big question. I'm not expecting you to figure that out right now immediately, but I do think that that's something that's going to be very meaningful for y'all to work out for the after. Because whatever happens after this, America's going to look very different. Race relations are going to look very different. White people are going to have to answer to each other. I mean, screw having to answer to black and brown people. Y'all are going to have to answer to each other, because I'm seeing in real time a lot of y'all looking around like, I don't understand why y'all are acting like this. To your fellow white people, I don't understand why y'all are acting like this. And I am really sad to tell you that they have felt this way the whole time. And because of your shared whiteness, you didn't see it. So, who are you going to be now that you shed that? Because shedding capital W whiteness is going to mean shedding the privileges that come along with that, and we're seeing that in real time. What are you going to do with this? And that's the question that I want you to ask yourself. I cannot answer it for you. Nobody else can. That's going to be a question that you have to ask yourself and ask your community. Ask the other white people in your life. Ask your family. Ask your loved ones who are not okay with what's going on. Who are you? And what are you willing to do if you go through your life and you spot all of these things that maybe did happen for you or did not happen for you solely because of your race? Who are you going to be without that? And the answer to that is very important. And I hope that finding it is enlightening for you. So good luck, I guess.
So I know some of y'all have followed me because y'all seen my video, that video I made the day after election telling black women, sit this out, let it burn, chill out, stop marching in the streets for everybody, because baby, they always come to bite us in the butt in the end when it comes to voting. There was a young lady that keeps stitching my video and keeps mentioning me in the video, talking about I don't like how this created, you got this big following and you telling people to preaching separation. If you're not a black woman, then you ain't gonna stick up, da 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 da. Black women have been marching and standing up and speaking up and voting for everybody. Whether you're a woman, a man, black man, every minority, black woman has been doing everything in the world to stick up for everybody. But every time we need y'all to come and stick together for us, you bite us in the butt every time. I am not preaching separation. I am not telling black women. First of all, this is a black woman stand account. My audience is black women. I'm a black woman, so I'm going to talk to us and I'm going to say how I feel. Black women, I'm going to say it again. Black women, these next 4 years, we're going to chill. We're going to rest. We're going to focus on ourselves. We're going to better our lives, our communities, along with black men, because black men also voted the way they were supposed to for the most part. Let everybody else fend for themselves. Because we've been fighting all this time, all these years, and look what happened. Do they ever, never have our back? And I said what I said, and I stand on it. Period. If you feel some type of way, you can block me. You got your own platform. Tell your people to come together. Because we've been mobilizing and getting everybody standing up for everybody community, doing marches, starting movements for everybody community. But when the time comes for us, where y'all at? I said what I said.
Where are the black people at and why aren't they protesting? We are at home. That's exactly where we're at. Because where were y'all at in 2020 when we were protesting? Because I know where I was. I was out in the streets trying to tell you guys about this exact thing. I even have video evidence. So my question is, where were y'all? Because we were trying to tell you guys about this. At least I was trying to tell you guys about this. We were out there actively trying to prevent this very thing from happening. But I guess since it wasn't an immigrant or a YT problem then, y'all didn't really care about it, but y'all care about it now. Black people, we're at home because we tried to fight. We tried to care, but y'all didn't help us. Don't get me wrong. It really breaks my heart to see what's happening, like truly. But y'all anger needs to be directed other places because it's not black people. Y'all need to be talking to them all lives matter people because where are they? They've been real quiet. I guess immigrant lives isn't a part of all lives. So please stop asking black people to help fight y'all battles because y'all wasn't there to help fight ours. But let me know what you guys think. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Dear white people, what have we done to you? We built this country with unpaid black labor, black blood, and black backs. We survived the ships. We survived the plantations. We survived the ropes, the fire hoses, the dogs, the bombs in our churches. We survived the hot water poured on our children. We survived Trayvon walking home with candy. We survived the drowning rescues that somehow still got twisted into stories about us being threats. We survived every hashtag that turned into a funeral procession. And still, it was never enough. We fought for education and they gave us crumbling schools and textbooks that erased us. We showed up with degrees and experience and they called us not a culture fit. We created the music, the language, the style, the entire culture they sell to the world, and then they called it appropriation the second we claimed it as ours. We reached for equality, and they screamed reverse racism. We asked to breathe, and they said we were asking for too much. So now the black community is doing the one thing that terrifies the people who only ever needed us when it was convenient. We are letting go. We are minding our business. We are prioritizing rest. We are choosing peace over performing for a system that never loved us. We are not coming to save a house that was never built for us to live in. Some of you are suddenly shocked, suddenly asking where the black voices went, suddenly wanting empathy, coalition, unity, and shared struggle. Where was that energy when we were screaming about the danger? Where was that energy when we were burying our children? Where was that energy when the system was only crushing us and you still had your comfort? You wanted normal. This is the new normal. The ancestors got us. God is strengthening the people who have carried this weight the longest. We do not owe this empire our bodies, our votes, our tears, or our energy one more time while it collapses under the weight of its own sins. Black Americans have had to go against everybody. White people, sometimes Africans, Mexicans, Chinese, and plenty more climbing over us on the way up. We owe nobody nothing. Sit back, watch. The revolution will not be televised, but the judgment is already on every screen. Fear of a Black Planet was never just an album title. It was a warning. It was a prophecy. And right now, a whole lot of people are living inside that fear while we are finally living in the peace this country denied us for centuries. This is not revenge. This is rest. This is strategy. This is faith. We warned you. You ignored us. You dismissed us. You gaslit us. Now we are free to protect what is left of us while the system reaps exactly what it sowed. Some of you are still fighting hard to remove one man and get back to normal. You are missing the entire point. God is judging a white supremacist system that has wreaked enough havoc. The black community, especially black Christians, who have resisted this system from the start, sees what you refuse to see. We are not abandoning the fight. We are refusing to keep fighting on your timeline, for your comfort, under your rules. We are resting because the next chapter requires strength. We are pulled back because the same God who carried us through 400 years is preparing us to lead when the dust settles. You can keep panicking. You can keep grasping for the old order. We are done begging to be included in a burning house. Leave us alone. Stack your money if you can. Protect your peace. This is your new normal, whether you like it or not. To my people, keep resting, keep stacking, keep building in silence, keep your peace like the sacred thing it is. The ancestors got us. God's power is already at work. To everybody else still fighting to put the mask back on, that mask is gone for good. The empire is exposed, and we are no longer available for your rescue mission or your sudden calls for unity, peace, power, and rest. To the people who never stopped carrying the weight, I'm out.